Today we are talking 6 reasons why expats won't make it 6 months in the country they're trying to live in. Let's get into it. What is up, people? It is your boy Chen's Alone. We are back at it. My name is Chen's. If you are new here, I make videos about living and chilling in Costa Rica. So if you're into that type of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, help your boy out. Today is a video about Costa Rica, but it's more about just expats in general. No matter where you're going, this video is really gonna be relevant to anybody that just wants to get out of their country and go somewhere new. I've seen too many people come here and they spend all of their time researching to get here. They sell all this stuff, they spend all that money to get here, and then they spend all their savings when they're here, and they wind up with nothing, and they have to go back and start all over, and that really sucks. So I really want to help you guys out, because now is the season that everybody's coming to Costa Rica. Everybody's coming from, you know, their cold, miserable states and places that they come from, and they're coming down to the tropics. They're coming down to a nice climate like this where it's so hot right now. I mean, it's like 3:30, almost 4 o'clock, and it is still just so hot, and that's beautiful, and I love that, and a lot of people love that. So they want to come here and they want to enjoy the life here, but they do it without really knowing the repercussions. This is what this video is really about. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the things I've seen in the last 6 years that I've lived here in Costa Rica, and you know, maybe kind of put something inside your mind that might not have been there before, because some of these are going to be obvious, but some of them might make your mind spin a little bit. So, and the first one is very obvious, but it's actually the most important one. But language barrier, man. I know it's very obvious that language barrier is going to be a very difficult thing when you're moving to another country, but I can promise you, if you can get past that language barrier before you get here, and you really learn just maybe more than the basics, I want to say the basics, but probably more than the basics, you could really strive in whatever country you're going to, because it's one of the really hardest things to really get by. And I'm not just saying like, hey, where's the cheese? I'm saying, like, imagine you find the love of your life, or you find some people that you're just really connected to. You feel like they're just like your soulmates. You found them in another country, but you just don't speak their language. And now when you go out to the clubs with them, and you go out, or you just go out to like a social event, and they're in their little circle and they're all talking, and every once in a while somebody will look over you, oh, we're saying, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And you're like, ugh, you know, that shit gets old real quick, man. I'm telling you, you start feeling real lonely around there. You feel real kind of secluded. You don't feel like you are part of the team, part of the friendship, you know. I mean, I have a lot of friends that, you know, they try to help you out as much as you can, but when you're at a party hanging out and everybody's just talking and nobody speaks your language, man, it gets old. It gets old real quick. And that kind of leads me into number 2, which is isolation. You know, isolation is one of the top reasons why I see people leave, and they won't admit to it, but I see it. You know, I've been here for a long enough time. I have a lot of people that come to Costa Rica just because of my YouTube channel. They tell me like, oh man, we're here because we wanted to do what you're doing. We sold all our stuff, and I watch what happens in the first 3 to 6 months that they're here, and man, it's just, the isolation is killer, you know, because they're constantly calling me going, Chens, let's hang out, you know. And it's like, you know, I got other things I gotta do. I gotta work. You know, I'm not here just to hang out with a bunch of people because you're my YouTube friends. You know, it's like, I love you guys. I wish I could, but you know, I gotta make my money. I gotta do what I gotta do. So isolation is a big thing here, and I know a lot of people think in their head like, oh man, I'm already isolated. I love my alone time, but man, I mean, you gotta really love being alone. And that's what I learned my first couple years here, which I actually really enjoyed, because you kind of learn yourself. You learn who you are as a person. And I personally figured out that I am way better off out here by myself without all my friends that I called my friends and all this stuff. You know what I mean? All that stuff that I left behind. I'm way better here than I am there. I don't need all that stuff. But some people aren't, and that's something you're gonna have to learn. It's something you think you know until you do it, and then you find out, you know, you don't even know yourself. And that's the most important thing, really learning yourself. And I think that's what happens, is people learn themselves and they realize, hey, I learned that I am not the guy that's able to do what I thought I was able to do. Ooh, almost just fell there. And that is really one of the most important parts of the whole journey. Now the number 3 reason why expats leave is because they think the budget life is the best life. They think that, you know, you can just come here and get a house over here in the woods, in the jungle, right on the river, get a couple of chickens, you know, and like live off the land. And like, that's cool. You could do that, I guess, somewhere maybe. I mean, I only see Ticos doing that. I don't see too many expats doing that. For the most part, expats are, you know, they're staying at Salinas, they're, you know what I mean, they're not here for the long run. But I'm talking the long run expats don't really, you know, I don't see them out here living in the jungle. It's not a real expectation. But some people come here and they want the budget life. They want to live like up in the mountains, up like way, way, way up in the mountains, And I actually have a couple of friends that have come here and they've tried to do that, and I've done it. Let me tell you, I have been there and I've done that. And though I was paying $89 a month to live from my house, I was also walking 45 minutes to a bus station. And if I got to get to the 5:30 bus station, 5 a.m. in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, you want to be there at 5 just in case you miss it. 45 minutes, plus you got to wake up, have your coffee. I mean, man, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get on the bus. I get to San Isidro at 8:30. Normally, I can't get what I need to get done by 11:30 to get to 11:30 back. So I'm getting the 4:30 back. I don't get home to like 6:30, and that's another 45-minute walk home. Normally, one of those walks is in the pouring rain. All good if you do it once or twice, but man, if that's your life every day, the budget life is not always the best life. It actually kind of sucks. And since we're talking about the budget life, that brings us right into number 4, which is Costa Rica is not cheap, and neither is most of the countries that you're thinking about visiting nowadays. I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, you know, I'll just go to Mexico, or I'll just go to the Philippines. And I mean, although it's still probably cheaper than Costa Rica, a lot of places are still just way, way, way more expensive than they used to be. I mean, everything's gone up, man. Nobody's stupid. They realize that the housing is going up. They're not stupid. They realize that people are selling their properties for $4 million in the States and coming down to Costa Rica and other places down here and buying up half of the country. And you know, they caught on. It's at this point, I think everybody's caught on. Everybody understands the market now. They understand the internet. It's pretty much over. If you want cheap, you can still find it here. But like I said, you know, budget life isn't always the best life. That's kind of like a gamble. If you get something super cheap and you don't know where it's at, you might be all the way up in the air in that area that I said before. That just doesn't make sense why you'd live there, especially without a car or a way to, you know, a transportation. Because not always will the buses go all the way up in the mountains. But you also might not have a bus route. So number 4 is cost of living is not that cheap. Fifth reason why expats won't make it 6 months in the country they're moving to is reality versus perception, man. I tell people all the time, Your perception is not reality. What you think of the country you're going to is not real. If you have not been there before, please go there and figure it out, because if you've never been to that country and you're going there thinking the things you think and you sell everything, there's a good chance you're gonna go home. It's just reality. I mean, that's the reality. Your perception is everything I just said. Please put this in the comments. If you think already at number 5, everything I said you thought in the head, yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. That's not gonna happen to me. I said the same things. I said the same exact things. And so did my ex-girlfriend who went home. I decided to stay because I knew I could make it. I knew in my heart, I know who I am at this point in my life. I knew I could make this happen, but not everybody can do that, man. Not everybody can do that. That is a big, 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 big life-changing situation in your life that not everybody's ready for. Blackie, you want a shower? So that's why I'm saying reality versus perception, man. If you were sitting here thinking, oh, that's not me, I'm not that guy, I could totally do this, this is fine. Everything you're saying is totally, that's just not who I am. Well, I did the same thing. And I mean, here I am, I made it, but I mean, if you're coming with a bunch of people, you sold your whole life, you sold your car, you sold your house, you're coming with your kids, you're coming with your wife, and then it doesn't work out, man, that really, really, really sucks. And I've seen it too many times, people. I've seen it too many times. And again, that brings me to number 6. The 6th reason why expats are not going to make it 6 months is because every single person you bring with you is 50% less chance that you're gonna make it here. You brought your wife here, you cut it down to 50%. Now it's 50% you're here, 50% you're not, because the second one person wants to leave, you gotta make that decision now. You brought your kids with you, you got 2 kids with you and your wife. Now your kids don't want to be here, they're bored, they don't want to be here anymore. Now what? You gotta leave. I mean, this is just absolute. Every time I see it, I'm like, God damn, man, I knew it was gonna happen. You got too many people with you. You brought your whole family. You can't expect 5 people to have the same exact dream that you had when you wanted to move to Costa Rica. So that's, or anywhere else, to whatever country you're moving to. So I see it too many times. I see too many people moving to Costa Rica and they make it about 4 or 5 months before they call me and say, listen, you want a TV? You want a couch? I got you, bro. I can't, you know, I'm out. I can't do it. Kids aren't happy. Wife ain't happy. I just want to sit out on the beach and surf all day, but I guess I got to go back to work. And that sucks. That sucks, man. So just think about it, people. If you think you're gonna come here, you're gonna bring your whole family here, you're gonna sell all your stuff, sell your car, sell your house, sell everything you got, move to Costa Rica or move to any country, just think of those 6 things, put them in your mind, play around with them, talk to your wife, maybe sit down with the kids and watch the video and be like, hey, do you think later on you're gonna want to move, you know, like this isn't gonna be fun to you? Because it gets boring for kids, man. There's nothing to do here unless you're 100% just a surfer. If you're a beach bum, great, perfect place, and that's who I am. I'm a beach bum. But you know, if you're a casual surfer, you like to look at the mountains every once in a while, you don't really like the heat, maybe you should think of something else, you know what I mean? Because it might not be the best option to move to Central America. Alright people, that is it from me. I'm gonna get out of here. Try not to slip on these slippery ass rocks out here on this river. What a beautiful day. We've been just chilling, relaxing. Whoa. It was raining in the morning, so we took the day off from selling at the coffee stand and took a day to relax in the river. Another beautiful day here in Costa Rica. If you guys enjoy these types of videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I love you guys so much. I'm gonna try to get out of here without slipping. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking this video. Make sure to hit that like button. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure, wherever that's gonna be. Ciao. I'll see you later. Ew.